I had to hit record. So, welcome to our YouTube Mastermind, where we come together every single Thursday at 12 p.m. Central to just talk YouTube. Doesn't matter if you are just getting started on YouTube or you've been doing YouTube for 30 years, this is the place for you. So, what we like to start off our sessions with is accountability check at this point. So if you came here last week, you probably did a commitment, and hopefully you made a commitment because that's something that I want to start integrating those more and more as we have more and more conversations about YouTube. So if you remember your commitment from last week, go ahead and comment down below and or unmute yourself and let us know if you accomplished it. Now I'll start. I did commit to doing 3 live streams from last week to this week, which is basically the same commitment that I had the previous one where I didn't do it. This time I can proudly say that I did. I think I even did 4. But my goal was to do live streams where I'll show you the exact strategy that we're developing here. But the strategy is to do the live streams to index in markets that are very low hanging fruit, and will continue to SEO dominate the entire DFW Metroplex. So anyway, that was my goal. That's what I ended up doing. So if anybody has if anybody has some additional wins they'd like to share, or um, share if they were able to fulfill on their commitment, now would be the time.
Well,
I will
I was,
say, oh, go ahead.
sorry. I would start. Hey, I started to work some other channels, or start some other videos and stuff like that. It didn't work, so I'm probably gonna go back to the basics again, from the talking heads and stuff like that. And I'm I'm getting out of one town, and I'm gonna go to another, closer to where I live, because we just bought a house closer to that town. So I'm gonna start doing that. Since it's a smaller town, nobody pretty much is doing anything on that. So at least that's gonna be my goal for these next 2 months. Redone everything that I had, eliminate that other town. Actually, that town is sucked right now with sales and stuff. So I'm going into a better town, hopefully, that I could start closing some deals. So just adjusting.
Sweet, 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 sweet. Tammy.
I was going to say I did do my lives last week. I've got one for each of the channels, so I did the 2, but I I'm by myself. The views do come in afterwards. I'm seeing that the one I just did yesterday's got 40 views now, but I know I'm talking to myself, and I'm fine with it.
It'll be that way for a little while. It'll be that way. So just remember, hey, this beats the editing part. This means the all that other things that come with it. As long as you're approaching it, which you are, from a strategic way, which we discussed. You know the purpose of it. And yes, right now you're speaking into the camera, with the potential of somebody maybe hopping on. But once they're there, and they're going to start doing the heavy lifting. So, that's, there's a payoff at the end.
Should I, at the end of my current videos that I'm making now, say something like, I don't want to give them too many call to actions, because my call to action is, schedule an appointment. But should I throw something in there like join me on, my live calls on this date?
If you plan to continue doing them for quite a while, then yeah, that would be fine. But at the end of the day, what I like to do is, since YouTube is, I see that more as a long term, it'll live there forever. I don't necessarily go into the, hey, there's going to be a live session this coming week
Okay.
or every Monday at 1 a.m., 1 p.m. Central. I wouldn't necessarily go into that,
Okay.
just because it's more of a long-term play, and it's not something that, unless you plan to do it forever, then I wouldn't necessarily make those call to actions, because as you're saying, like, throwing too many calls to action there, you don't want to
Okay.
burn
Yeah.
them.
Okay. That makes sense, because forever just sounded very scary when you said it.
Well, thankfully the videos are going to be there forever, but you doing them won't. So you can go and retire at a fishing community somewhere very soon. All righty.
I was not on the call last week, but I did make some commitments and I've been sticking with them. I've been kind of slacking on my YouTube videos as far as making them lately. And so I try to have two a week. And so to kind of catch up and even get ahead a little bit, I've been trying to make one a day, other than the weekends. So I'm trying to make 5 a week at this point for the long form. And then I've also been making more short form videos. I've been trying to make that a priority as well. So I've been doing one a day since last week and posting that on all platforms.
Sweet. That's awesome. That's awesome. That's awesome. So for those of you that are joining us from, you make a really good point. I should probably start recapping what we discussed. We won't do the entire session again because that was last week, but to that point, last week what we talked about was the first 30 seconds, so why they matter. I'm going to share my screen real quick so you see the content. Again, we're not going to really be discussing too much on it right now, but really what we talked about was what the first 30 seconds, how to improve your first 30 seconds. Here is the low-hanging fruit way. So phase one is basically all done, the improvement that is to have your 30 seconds get higher retention rate, which was something that Odessa mentioned earlier in our time together. Phase one is basically all done in post-production. So this is the editing side of things. So if you're editing yourself, then these are things that you can do to enhance your videos and increase your audience retention. If you're not editing yourself and you're part of creator agents, then this is something that is taught to your editors and reinforced with your editors in our QA process and the way that we onboard our internal crew and the feedback that we give. So this is essentially things, strategies, very, very straightforward that you can use to improve your audience retention within the first 30 seconds. Then we talked about the phase two improvement. This is where you have to change. This is where your recording has to change. It's not something that's going to be done in post. It's not going to be done in the editing. You strategically have to change the way that you approach your first 30 seconds. And this was a structure that we talked about how to use this and started applying a bit more artificial intelligence into our strategy, which you're going to see in just about everything that we do. Phase two, these are things that need to change within your content itself. And something that's a little bit, let's call it a level 5 type of a change would be enhancement and storytelling. So it's not as simple as following a little structure here. It's more of getting a lot better at storytelling, getting a lot better with your camera presence. We the example that I gave last week was Dewey, who's on our call today from New York. So if you go to New York and check out his content there, it is, I mean, it's phenomenal. The way that he storytells, has camera presence, and is really exemplifying this type of presence at the beginning of his video. So essentially, it's 3 phases. I like to bring things up and make them way more tactical, as opposed to saying, "Hey, improve your audience retention." Okay, well, how? Right? So this is that how. So either it's done in post or you yourself need to change and you use this structure and just apply it for YouTube videos to increase that audience retention. And then also enhancing with storytelling. This one's a little bit more challenging to do. It's a little bit more of a art rather than a science, but I mean, that's why it's a phase 3 type of a thing. I wouldn't encourage you to start here. I'd encourage you to start in phase 1, then migrate to phase 2 or graduate to coin Odessa's word of the day a little bit earlier ago, and then move it forward. So that's what we talked about last week. We're not going to relitigate that one, but I just want to give you an idea of what that looks like. What we are going to talk about today is sharing on social media. Now, the reason that I wanted to go into sharing the social media is because right now, while everybody has different markets at the moment, I want to show you a very effective way for you to gain some additional exposure for your YouTube channel. I'm going to share with you how to share on social media I don't want to say the right way, but in a way to where it actually makes a difference. So I'll stop sharing for a quick second and talk a little bit about the sharing on social media and what's happening right now. What's happening right now, or oftentimes whenever people are sharing their content, their YouTube content on social media, it is destroying their social media presence in the sense that YouTube is not rewarding them with engagement. because you're just basically dropping a link there and leaving, which is what most creators do. They just drop a video. Hey, check out this video that I just made on Oklahoma. And we're surprised that maybe we get 2 likes, possibly 1 share, or maybe a comment. And it really didn't do that much good for your social media presence. And it's a double whammy because when it comes to YouTube, it didn't help you that it didn't help you on the YouTube world either, because even if you were to get somebody to click over to your YouTube video, you're going to get a high bounce back rate, which is that's not the technical term. That's more of an ad term, but you're going to have people that will click over to YouTube and just to check it out, whatever you're sharing, and then bounce out of there. So what's happening is they're destroying your audience retention. So essentially you're screwing yourself up is what's happening there. Does that make sense? So I'll share with you, how to actually make it happen. But again, the reason that I wanted to cover this particular topic is because it's going to not only help you with your brand awareness, it's going to help you with your YouTube channel, and it's going to actually generate way more leads much faster than even YouTube will. Now, it's not the long-term strategy. Just think of it like a little bit of steroids, if you will, but it is going to accelerate your lead acquisition a lot quicker. So these strategies will bring you in leads much, much quicker for work that you've already done. So what that means is, let's just say you make a video on protesting property taxes or making a video about the home buying process. Now, those videos in and of themselves, those types of videos is what I call workflow videos. Those videos are the ones that you introduce into your workflow to help your clients understand more about their home buying process or the home selling process, or how to better take care of their property or manage their financial wealth through real estate. So those are workflow videos. Those are conversations turned into videos that will benefit your clients at the end of the day. So those aren't necessarily designed to go viral. Those are designed to help you generate leads organically, for sure. Not as much, but they are designed to do that. They are designed to convert your leads a lot quicker. So this is content, this is value that you can provide the leads that reach out to you, whether it's a referral or through Zillow or through YouTube themselves. These are videos that are designed to close your leads much quicker. And then also, these are, again, the workflow videos that you can introduce into your workflow so you can provide that 5-star experience. So what I'm saying here is, you're taking videos that you've already created on YouTube and are using those as the lead magnet, as the value of what you're going to be posting on social media. And I'm going to show you a real life way to actually do that, to where you actually get leads from whatever it is, whatever content that you're recording. Does that make sense? Questions on that? All right, so let me see if my bait has landed. So just to show it to you in real time, I wanted to show you a post I made an hour ago. Now keep in mind, my audience is mainly real estate agents. So hopefully your audience is not like mine. No offense, I'm a real estate agent too. Don't get mad. But right now I made a comment about an hour ago on my social media on Facebook. It's not any different than yours. I really probably don't have more friends. I probably don't have better connections. I probably don't have a better social media presence than you do. I'll go ahead and qualify it with that. But what you're going to see is, I'll show you right now on my Facebook feed, I made the exact same strategy, the exact same post that I'm encouraging you to do right now in the appropriate way to share your content. I want to show you the power of it. Again, keep in mind, I'm not that great at social media. Let's just be real. But when I made this post about an hour ago, of course, they had no comments, but now it has 12 comments. These are potential people that want whatever it is that I'm offering. In this particular case, I'm breaking the fourth wall here. Just made a complete guide to buying new construction. It's helping buyers save $12,500 on average. Comment if you want it. What am I talking about? Well, I'm talking about the video that I made that I've referenced in this particular mastermind 100 times, which is the how to buy a new construction home. Essentially, my mega video, which is this video right here. This is the video that I'm referencing. So everything you need to know about buying new construction. So this is essentially what I'm offering, and this is how I'm presenting this. I'll talk about that $12,500 so you don't think I'm clickbaiting, but I'm just giving you a framework, and I'm sharing exact framework that I'm using here of what happens next. Any questions before we keep going? Because sometimes I lose people here. All right, so let's talk about the alternative. Let's talk about what the normal way, or the way that you see, not you, but your peers, whenever they create a video. Let's say they make the best video on new construction possible. They're the traditional way, or the way that a lot of folks do, is they'll just drop the YouTube video and it's like, hey, here's a video that I made on how to buy a new construction home. And again, it kills your reach, it kills your distribution. Very few people are ever gonna see it. And the ones that do see it are gonna click on it for 12 seconds and then go over and damage your watch time, your retention. So you didn't get really the benefit of the video altogether. On social media, you will get it in the long term when it comes to YouTube, but you just didn't get the pop that you were looking for, as opposed to this. So I'm not sharing the link here, and you'll see various ways to actually provide the information. But what I'm saying here is I made a complete guide. So basically it's a video. People don't know that, but it's a video. Buy new construction. This is a topic that I covered in the video. So again, everything you need to know about buying new construction. That's helping buyers save $12,500 on average. Now, this number is going to change for you. On average, of the last 10 transactions, so of the last 10 transactions that we've done, 9 of them have been new construction. And on average, we're saving $12,500 off the sticker price through the negotiation of, I mean, you see right now, there's incentives galore. So quite honestly, this isn't that impressive. It looks impressive, and it is, and like from the client's perspective, but if we're being honest, from a new construction standpoint, especially if you're in the $400,000, $500,000 mark, new construction price range, you can do this in your sleep. You can discount this in your sleep. So your number is going to be different. So a Brock is going to be able to put 50,000 on average, right? So it's this type of marketing, because that's essentially what this is. It's this type of marketing that will give you a huge pop. Now, comment is the call to action on social media, and I'll show you how we offboard these comments into actual clients. So that's the framework. That's the framework of this particular video. Now, it could be other types of topics, or it could be other topics. So here's the thing. Posting on YouTube link isn't enough, of course. If you're dropping a link and hoping for leads, you're missing the point. The real play here is doing the 1, 2, 3. So here, create an engaging post. That's what I just showed you. You're creating curiosity, you're sparking a little bit of intrigue, and you're making it very appealing for people to actually comment and see what this is about. So here, examples because I know you make all types of content, examples of such posts would be, who wants to know how to save X amount of money in property taxes? So if you made a video on protesting your property taxes, if you made a video on the homestead exemption, which in many states exists, in Texas, I know for sure. So this is for you, Tyler, Brock, and other individuals that are in Houston right now. Danny, this is right up your alley. I made a step-by-step guide to protest your property taxes. Who wants it? So here again, it's a different way of presenting this video topic. And it works for everything. I just made the go-to spots in Ocala as an example. I just did an analysis on the top neighborhoods for Waco as an example. So these are all different ways that you can present the whatever it is that you created your video. your content and presenting it on social media so you actually get engagement. That's step one. Step two, just basically acknowledge the comments. So and here I'm not going to go through it right now because this will take a little bit longer than I intended to. But in the comment, you're essentially going to reply to them in, oh, it's because I zoomed in, right? You're just going to comment on here. So again, I am skewing very, very realtor heavy. So for y'all probably are not as realtor heavy as I am. But you're just going to reply to them in the public setting to the comments that they're making. You're going to reply to them in the out in the wild, acknowledging their comment so as to continue getting some additional reach and distribution boost from Facebook, right? So we don't want to just comments to lay there. We want to acknowledge them so we can continue getting some additional a signal boost through Facebook. One pro tip, because some of you are going to get hundreds of comments that are a little bit more engaged in social media. Vary up your responses. Vary it up so it's not the same thing, because Facebook will suspend you for a little bit of time or will decelerate the amount of times that you can comment. So if you just start copying and pasting this one thing or whatever it is that you're responding to, it'll say, hey, slow it down, and then it'll actually keep you from commenting again. Just a little pro tip, because some of you are going to get a ton of comments.
Jaime, oh, sorry.
Please.
Really quick question. For that comment, can we use ManyChat on Facebook?
You could, but it's just an acknowledgement.
Okay.
Just an acknowledgement. So you could just do this and reply it 3 times and then go and get another version or just comment something different. Just as long as again, it's more of a signal boost and you're acknowledging that somebody commented. That's a respectful thing in my opinion, but in reality, I'm more just trying to get some additional exposure because Facebook sees that. And this works in all platforms. It's not just Facebook. I'm just giving you this one to give you an idea. Same thing with stories. You can apply the exact same strategy on stories. Now, the real magic here happens behind the scenes. The real magic happens over in the messenger. So here, essentially, depending on the topic, so as an example, is somebody, a high school friend, a former colleague, somebody that I've known for quite a while that's not a real estate agent, comments on the topic that I'm covering here. Let's just say how to buy a new construction home. Well, somebody that's interested in this type of content, they may not be interested today. They may not be interested next month, but they may be trying to preserve this for next year. Right. So it provides a bit of intention. It shares a little bit about their intentions or future intentions to where you can start the conversation depending on what the topic is. Again, property taxes does incredibly well, but people that typically talk about how to protest their property taxes are homeowners. So you're talking listings. So depending on where they are in their home ownership journey, they may not be ready to sell. But again, the important thing here is that whenever you're in the DMs, you could do it one of 2 ways. If you do not have their contact information, meaning somebody from a former colleague that you never had their phone number, you never had their email, what you could do when you're delivering I promise something, I promise the guide here. Again, they don't know that it's a video, and it's actually much better than a physical guide, which where a lot of people think that's where I'm coming from. But I could just straight up comment, hey, thanks for commenting. Here's the guide. I just hit them with the YouTube link in the messenger. Now, that is one way of doing it. It's not my favorite. Why? Well, because here I don't have, in many cases, I might not have the contact information of the people that commented. I would much rather deliver that link in an email. I would much rather deliver that link in a text. I want to have another vehicle outside of Facebook to be able to communicate with whoever it is. Now, if it's somebody it's my homie, it's my buddy, it's somebody that I'm very, very familiar with, I would feel comfortable dropping in that YouTube link and just letting them know, hey, just do me a favor. Can you watch it all the way through? And if you hit a like on it, that would really help me out. Coach them a little bit more. So I'm just giving you possible responses in the DMs. But once you've delivered the goods, so let's just say if you want to get their contact information, an easier way to do it is Facebook doesn't like links and messages, which is true. If for those of you that get tons and tons of comments on your post, don't send out more than 18 DMs in one sitting. In fact, in one day. So it's gonna take a while. Why? Well, because Facebook here again will put you in a little bit of a timeout where if you try to do 20, it will say cannot send, cannot send, cannot send, cannot send, cannot send, and it'll give you a cooldown period of 24 to 48 hours. So send out 18 at once. If you do above 20, you're really pushing it for the day. But anyway, so here Facebook doesn't like messages, so I'll text it to you. What's a good number? Or can I send it to you via email? Right. So it's 100% of the people are going to say, yes, here it is. So you just have to remember to come back and get their email. And so this doesn't consume your day. Just block out 2 times. One, to acknowledge and the comments and send the first DMs. And then at the end of the day, come back and start collecting this information so you can deliver what it is that you promised. So just block out 2 times of the day. So here, I'm not going to, and if you're on here that commented on that post, I'm just going to go and I'm going to acknowledge these later on in this afternoon and send out the DMs. And then I'm going to follow it up in the evening with the actual goods. I'm sorry, with the follow up to the if they gave me the email, then I would go and send it via email and things like that. But really, once you start that DM conversation, once you start the conversation in general, now is an opportunity to take it further and ask some additional probing questions. So here's where I kind of, choose your own adventure. I kind of drop you off and let you do your own thing, however you want to do it. But here would be a good opportunity on asking more real estate related questions. Hey, are you thinking about buying new construction, by the way? Or have you ever purchased a new home? And just continue the conversation there. Because here again, it's people that would have never known, let's be real, that would have never known that you published a YouTube video about new construction. That now they have awareness. So now what happens? They know that you're a real estate agent or are reminded that you're a real estate agent. And now they're commenting on something that has to do with what you do, which is real estate. So you're given permission to have an additional conversation about what it is that you do. Questions on this? Any feedback on it? Awesome. Well, I'm not a fan of dragging things out. So that is, I allocated 55 minutes, but we're 15 minutes short. So I'm comfortable calling it for today and or addressing any questions that we might have.
So Jaime, all these will work in all platforms, like Instagram, I don't know, maybe TikTok. Can I do a video about, hey, I got a guy, you want it? Comment, whatever.
Yeah. Yeah. LinkedIn.
Google My Business, maybe.
I'm sorry?
Google My Business as well.
That you're gonna have to ask the expert Danny Lopez. I don't know. I don't know. I don't consider Google My Business social media. But Danny, would it work? Because you pull in Google My Business every day.
As of right now, I don't think so, but Google My Business is gonna be putting a social it's gonna be rolling out a new social way, so you could post whatever the person is posting on Facebook or on LinkedIn, on all these other platforms. Google My Business is gonna get that information and put it on your business. So
Nice.
when they start rolling that, that might be attractive.
Hopefully it would be better than G plus, I think is what it was back then.
Oh yeah, yeah, yeah.
Have you tried using like Opus clips or anything like that to do it rather than a text post to do like a 15, 20-second like snapshot of that video with the call to act, like the call to action, the caption, or, you know, maybe not for Facebook, for like an Instagram or something like that?
For more specific calls to action, yeah, but like the property. So not, this is more to get exposure for the videos themselves. But if I'm looking more for leads or things of that nature, then like if I have a guide, a property tax guide, then I would do a short form. Not through Opus, to be honest. I would make it more specific. I would purposefully edit a video for a short form, but I wouldn't take a clip from the video that in this particular case that's from the video, because in context it's not gonna be as punchy. I would use it more for just marketing, just general awareness, if I was gonna do Opus clip for the video that I already created. But I'm sure it would work. It would you would just need to find the right snip, and then people would want to go and find the rest of that information. So with your call to action, you could put comment taxes or comment new or comment homes for the top neighborhoods in the GTA.
Hey Jay, another quick question. What is your thought on AI cloning yourself to do little clips?
For like social media or for YouTube?
Yeah, just whatever. Let's say, for example, you want to do, I don't know, 20 or let's put 10 videos under 15 seconds, just hey, blah, 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 type of thing, but using that cloning AI software.
I think it'll work. I just personally, I think in the near future, that type of content is gonna be able to get flagged pretty easily by YouTube in the future. Not today, but then it would start suppressing them. That's just my pure speculation to give you an idea. Like back in the day when everybody would keyword stuff in the title, and the whole clickbait stuff, early YouTube. I suspect the same thing's going to happen with AI. I can't prove that to you, but that's my suspicion. So will it work today? Yeah, it will absolutely work today. Will it be sustainable? I don't think so.
Hey, Jaime, going back to the strategy, like in terms of the video selection that you decide to do this post with, like, are you selecting a video that you know, like maybe needs more views, like you're trying to get more people to that, or are you selecting a video that is brand new to the channel, so you're trying to like kickstart it, or is it a video that is highly popular, so you just want to keep, attacking that popularity of the video? Like, what's the strategy behind the selection of the video you make a post for?
Yeah, that's a really good question. I'll be honest, I don't really have a straight, like, this is the formula, but I would choose the ones that have the higher likelihood of people commenting. So in this particular case, new construction, that is, let me rephrase that. As I'm formulating an answer, there's two components that it would need to have. One is that it's a higher likelihood of people commenting. So essentially there's a need. And two, that need ends with a sell. So a real estate transaction. So in this particular case, new construction, that would end with a sell, in my opinion. So it has the potential to end with that. So if I try to promote a video on the best restaurants in Dallas, well, number one, I wouldn't make that video on YouTube, but two, I also wouldn't select it for social, because it wouldn't necessarily lead to the potential to me actually closing a transaction. Now, yeah, a lot of people are going to comment because it's Everyone has an opinion on the restaurant. However, it really won't lead to a lot of real estate sales. So two, I guess my final answer, it has to have I guess there has to be some demand in terms on social media to where people would be commenting, and two, it would need to end or potential to end with a real estate sale from the topic that I share. Great questions. All right, crew, unless there's anything else, we're gonna wrap it up. Again, this is something I wanted to share because right now with the market the way that it is, or in some markets, I won't pigeonhole anybody, but with you, the efforts that you're putting in on YouTube, they're gonna pay off with YouTube as long as you're consistent and are making the right topic selection, which we talked about 4 weeks ago. It is going to happen. Now, if you want to accelerate it and get for those of you that are impatient like I am, if you want the immediate adrenaline boost, if you want the steroid, if you want the Ozempic version, this is the Ozempic version where you're taking the effort and the energy that you've already done. But now you, with just one simple post and 15 to 20 minutes worth of work, you have 30 conversations to have about real estate from the work that you've already done. It's going to go and do the heavy lifting on YouTube, allow it to do that. But that work that you've already invested. So if you look at your catalog of videos that you have, making a post similar to this is going to get you that, it's going to get you to the conversations that you want to have of people buying or people selling a lot quicker. Cool, cool, cool. Well, I appreciate you. If you have any questions, please feel free to reach out. Thursdays at 12 p.m. Central is when we throw down. Bring a friend. Let me know if you have any questions, or just happy to help in any way that I can. Talk to you soon. Bye.